What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to What Would It Cost? Today I'm sitting down with this young rock star, Mason Galvao, and we're going to talk about some big land development that he's involved with, a small little team full of rock star realtors that he's joining and forming, and just so many more amazing things that I want you guys to listen into, because this kid's young and he's coming up the rail and he's coming up fast. He's got it all going for him. He was a young professional athlete back in the day, and he's applying that discipline to everything he's doing now moving forward in the real estate space. And this guy's going to take everyone by surprise. I promise you that. Okay, talk to me. Like, what I find so interesting about you is the fact that you're so young, but you're extremely knowledgeable, and your discipline is, I like to say it, unparalleled. Right?
Thank you.
So when it comes to those two things in combination, look out.
Yeah.
It's detrimental in a good way, right? Like you're coming up the rail, and I see there's nothing that's going to get in your way and stopping you if you continue on that path. So talk to me a little bit about your history and where you've gotten and learned the discipline from, and why you got into the game so early, and what that all looks like.
So what I was kind of brought up as was a fighter. So my parents hated it, but my uncle used to do karate back in the day, and he kind of put me into that direction a little bit. So I've been doing boxing, kickboxing, martial arts since I was about 4 years old.
Okay.
Right. So up until that, all the way to 18, that's all I was known as. So for example, in high school, instead of going out for lunch with my buddies eating Domino's, I was going for a run. I would work out before school, during, and then also after. I go to the boxing gym. So that's all I ever did. Even like on my way to school, I'd be watching fights during class, be watching fights. So I'd program my brain where that's all I ever did. Start walking by a mirror, start shadow boxing, doing that whole thing. So I got super obsessive over boxing and kickboxing. Fought on Team Canada for kickboxing, fought in Italy for the World Championships, did a bunch of shit like that. I took that same discipline and that same obsessive mindset, and I put it into real estate. But I had a crazy awkward in-between time where, as I was kind of exiting out of fighting, I was like, fuck, what the hell am I going to do? So I got into university for health sciences, decided not to go, because the summer leading into my first year, I started to learn how to be a barber, because I was going to the shop, getting a haircut once a week. I always want to be fresh. Then eventually I was working front desk, just kind of watching the guys how they cut hair. And my boss was like, hey, I'll teach you how to cut hair. I was like, why not? I'll be making better money than just being front desk here anyways. So he taught me. I was getting kind of into it. It was kind of fun just to be laid back with the guys, just cutting hair. After that, I decided not to go to university. I was like, you know what? I don't even know if that's for me. I'm just going to make money for now. And then as I was just working the barbershop, like every day, sometimes 60-hour weeks, for a barber, that's like, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Making decent money at the time. But I was like, fuck, like I'm putting all these hours into the barbershop. What if I did in something else? Because I got so money hungry. So I come home to my dad complaining, I'm like, fuck, I'm working all these hours. Like, in my opinion, I'm making like shit money. Like I want to make thousands and thousands. Like, what the fuck am I doing? So he says, why don't you just get your real estate license? I was like, yeah, but like, I don't want to piggyback off of you. I want to like build something on my own. And he says, just because you're doing it doesn't mean you got to piggyback off of me. Right. So started doing my course. This is when COVID happened during the lockdowns and everything. So I was in and out of the barbershop throughout the lockdowns, doing the course at my ex-girlfriend's house at the time, just every day, just staying disciplined at it. Now I was trying to pick up boxing at the same time. So I was going to Niagara every other day. I was just trying to do anything to keep me busy, because I'm so obsessive, right? It's got to be something that's going to, that can work towards. Yeah. During COVID, it's like, I'm just home. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I was working towards. Got my license within 10 months while working in and out of COVID, right? After that, I was twiddling my thumbs for like 6 months, being like, okay, I'm licensed. I was, I already had a social media following, but I was trying to build it. Just doing the whole Muhammad Ali thing, like pretending like I'm the greatest realtor, even though I was super new. So I was doing that for like 6 months straight, trying to figure out how to run my business. And then it just kind of clicked. Every conversation that my dad would have, I'd go over and listen. Yeah. Same way he's talking, same way he'd break down a client based off of what they want or anything like that. That's what I was going through, the motion. Yeah. And then eventually it clicked with me, and my fucking business started to go and take off a little bit.
Nice.
And now recently I've completely shifted into a whole other direction in real estate, and it's paying off so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, and like I find that, like extremely, extremely rare, right? Like that, the disciplinary aspect of things,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's not easy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So to have that at such a young age, it makes a lot of sense now. It makes a lot of sense given your background and how high of a level that you were competing at, and how those neurological pathways, they're ingrained in your
like that's what it is.
like now it's just a different obsession.
Yeah.
Right? Which
Exactly.
is real estate. So let go. Right?
Exactly.
And now, do you find that you burned out? You burn out a lot with that kind of attitude? And if not, what are the things that you do to stay balanced and to have the longevity?
I love the highs and lows. I love like perseverance through adversity and stuff like that. Like I like feeling a little bit of hit rock bottom for a couple days and then shoot back up.
Right.
That's the addicting part for me.
Right.
Is to like face a challenge, something goes to shit, and then pick up again from there. That's what I like. And there's the same thing in boxing. If I lost a fight, fucking cry about it for a day and be back in the gym running. You know what I mean? So the same way how you take your L's in boxing is the same way I was taking my L's in real estate. So I face burnout, but I love it at the same time because that burnout will only last for, like a little while, and I'll just get right back to it.
Right.
But now I'm kind of reeling back a little bit to avoid such lows, and I prioritize wellness now. So I have a whole morning routine. I read this book called The Miracle Morning. That book completely changed my lifestyle.
Okay.
Basically just talks about taking a whole morning routine, like a specific one. So meditate in the morning, right when you wake up. No phone, no nothing. You just, keep your brain silenced from, your phone and everything like that.
Yep.
After that, affirmations. So I literally have a vision board in my room in front of my desk. It just lays there. And then it's like a whole bunch of photos, like a Urus and stuff like that, like a Lamborghini, all the stuff that I would like to have just based off of my future. And then it has my affirmations written down on the other side. So I read my affirmations out loud, and then I look over at my vision, like at the other side with all the pictures on my vision board. And I just kind of envision what my life would be after, keep just staying consistent with my current life right now and just building off of it. And then after that, I'd move into reading with coffee, and then I would go to the gym. I don't go to the gym in the morning. I go after work. So that routine really helped me with having big burnouts. It's minimized a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And you find that at the end of the day, you're doing a routine that kind of brings you down from such a high active go back-to-back style of work?
I try to, like, I'll try to go in the hot tub or something like that, or just chill with family. But often I find myself going back on my laptop and doing more work.
Yeah.
Because, for example, one of my buddies that's a developer fucking called me like 10 o'clock at night being like, I need you to look at this geo right now, like check who's on title and everything like that. So there's always little tasks that happen just before I go to bed.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, as I'm sleeping, I'm fucking dreaming about real estate.
Right.
So wake up, real estate, go to bed, real estate, dreaming, real estate.
Yeah.
So it's it's just the whole time. That's what it is. But I like that because it's the same thing when I was boxing.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't mind 24 hours.
Nice.
Literally. Yeah.
Nice. And I know we got lunch tomorrow, you and your pops, and I've talked to him a couple of times, not only at the Path to Profit event, but on the phone as well. Sounds like a super cool guy.
Yeah.
You were telling me when we went tubbing that he's someone that you look up to in a big way, and is an inspiration. And you guys got a really cool working relationship.
Yeah, we do.
So.
We're very similar. My obsessive mindset for like working towards something, I actually got that from him because he's the exact same way.
Okay.
He was literally almost on his deathbed from like, having COVID. Like he was on a ventilator and everything like that. After he came back from the hospital, he had an oxygen tank up to his nose, and he was doing his builder's course. Like he's always doing something because he just fucking wants to keep leveling up and doing something. So that's where I get it from. And it's kind of cool because I live with my mentor. You know what I mean? Not everyone can, like people would die to be living with their boxing coach, the same way how Rocky Balboa, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So I have that, and I have that for free.
Yeah.
So every time he's on the phone, it's just a sponge constantly. I'm always poking him, bugging him. But that's where I've taken a model that he's built based off of in the commercial realm, let's say, taking the exact same model, and I just did it with a different group, and a group that I really, foster those relationships to a greater extent.
Yeah.
And it's just making my business go extremely fast. And then he sees it too, and he's like, holy shit, like, it's amazing.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And you were telling me you farm 2 different networks. So it's
Yeah,
even like,
yeah.
even like you're attached to his cold
Yeah.
and you're servicing his people. Like,
Exactly. It's whole other things right now. Like the guys that I talk to on the land development side, you ask me a question when it comes to like high-rise land development, not so much the building step by step, but on how to get a deal done like that, I'll know to a T for the most part now. Whereas he's really big into some of the other types of styles of land development. So the low rise, you know, a little bit of industrial, commercial stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you ask me high rise, I'm fucking ready to go.
Yeah.
I put myself in that network now.
Yeah.
And it's going really well.
No,
Yeah.
that's good, man. That's so cool. And which again is something that's very rare to see. Someone as young as yourself dealing with the account size that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And doing a very thorough job so that the buyers on the other end, you know, really trust you with these big purchases. So talk to us a little bit about some land acquirement and some development and some building and some deals that you facilitated and what that looks like in regards to cost.
Yeah. So just kind of give you like the full circle when it comes to the land development stuff. Every realtor would like to dabble in it. And every realtor that says that they do it usually doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
So they might say, oh, I got this, but they got sent that from a whole grapevine of like 10 other realtors that actually know the guy who has it. Yeah. Type of thing. For example, I had a realtor send me a PowerPoint deck on a site that, you know, he thought I'd be interested in. And I'm looking at him like, I fucking made that. I made that PowerPoint. I really made the exact same. I was telling you that previously. So the commercial game.
So they're using
They're using my own PowerPoint.
Put this whole deck together.
Yeah, that I made.
You
on fucking Canva.
Right.
And then they're trying to flip it to me saying, I had this, but because they must have got that from another 2 realtors. Yes. Yeah. See what I'm saying? So it's so saturated with tainted sites. So everyone says they have sites. Someone can send me a whole freaking list of 20 sites that, are probably off market and everything like that. But I guarantee you 99% of them will be bad. Right. So I try to position myself where what I'm selling is a good site. It hasn't been shopped around. And if it has, it's with a completely other group. It has to be priced well. So when I'm looking at a site, I vet it out before I even send it to any of my developers for the most part, because with one of my other guys who has a first right refusal for everything, I'm on the phone with him talking about different sites that I'm working on or that he wants me to work on. And so it got to the point where I know the values really well. Right. For example, this guy will send me an address or like a PIN number for on Geo Warehouse or something. So I'll source it out. I'll contact the owners. I'll do the whole research on the back end. And once they say, "Are you interested in selling?" That I ask them that. If they say yeah, I already have the number and the offer in my head because I know the values like that. Okay. Right. So basically, just kind of take you through the process. If I was going to approach a farmer, let's say his land's about 10 years out. It's touching the urban boundary like a subdivision, but it's not actually in the urban plan within the next 5 to 10 years. That's the type of stuff that we love because you can grab that stuff at about 50 an acre, maybe, or maybe a little bit more, like 80 an acre, depending on the area, right? So it's just raw farmland. That's all it is. Now, when we're purchasing this, we already have an LOI or an offer ready to go. And if they're interested, fantastic. From there, we do about 60 to 90 business days due diligence in the offer to lock it up. In that time period, we're raising money from investors, or if we already have the capital, and in that time period, we're doing environmental testing, we're doing like work with our planners and our consultants and everything like that. And after that, by the time we close, leading up into that point, if we can bring it into the urban boundary based off of whatever partners we have, amazing, because then we went from 50 an acre to 500,000 an acre. Not too many people do that. So if you have so we bought at $50,000 an acre. Let's say if it's 100 acres, and then we increased the value to $500,000 an acre within 6 months. Right. If we have the right group to do that. So one of my groups, that's what we do. Okay. Whereas you're looking at a high-rise site, let's say if you want to buy a plaza, I'm working on a deal right now with Fernbrook and Oakville, Bronte and Lakeshore. On that site, you could probably get about 12 stories. Okay, so you're selling at about 1,300 to 1,400 a square foot there. Now it's a plaza, it's income producing about 250, but you could probably increase because a lot of it's vacant. So you could probably do about 480 when it's fully rented out a year. Okay. So the cap rate's shit. The cap rate's at about a 3% cap if we're buying it at about 16.4 in and around there, which is what we offered on it. Now, we don't really care about the cap rate because once we change the zoning to allow for a mid-rise, our value from the 16.4 to a mid-rise zoning will be insane. So we can get a differential of probably about 5 to 7 million once we increase that value. So right there alone, people are making money on the land lifts. So I find majority of the developers, they don't want to buy something that's approved, ready to put a shovel in the ground.
Right.
No one wants
You're
that
paying
because
premium.
it's way more. Yeah, you're paying a premium. It's way more risk. You want to get something where you can do the land lift. Same thing when you see someone doing a BRRRR investment, they want to buy like a shithole, right? So they can put in a bunch of money into it, get a refinance, whatever. It's the same thing with land, because when you're buying at X and you're doing a little land lift, it's really not a lot of money. It's $50,000 to get the planning to maybe do a zoning variance or something like that.
Right.
It's little money for a huge gain. So that's what everyone's looking for. So you have to be the guy with the sites. So either I'm the guy with the site or the guy beside me is. So I really only work with about 3 to 4 other really good realtors that have good sites. And I have to be only one arm length away, because if there's 2 other middlemans, it's just a shit show.
Right.
That's why it's an insider's game.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So now the way that you'll move in, you're moving in with internal capital, or you'll do like a general partnership, limited partnership structure.
Yeah. So
How do you raise the capital?
yeah. So the way we do it is, it's like, let's say 1 or 2 guys, okay, that are forefronting the whole thing, and they bring in a couple investors. Now they're not bringing in. It's not like a GPLP where it's, let's say, hundreds of people just putting in like 50 to 100K. No, we're putting in like 5 guys that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
And for them, it's nothing to put in 10 mil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. And they can sit on it. For example, if we're doing an MZO, these guys, for example, they just want to hold the land because, they just 10x their money.
Yeah.
They're just going to sit there, just let things roll over, because they already know it's worth a shit ton more after doing something like that.
Yeah.
And then when the time comes to develop on it, that's 4,000 or 5,000 homes on 500 acres.
Right.
Right. So it's the same thing when you're looking at a high-rise site. It's the exact same stuff. So people, like that's the way it's
You're
gotta go.
looking at a very sophisticated style investor that doesn't need cash flow and liquid.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
can sit and they can hold.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they don't need even an asset on the land to carry.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They're buying it outright.
Yeah,
Maybe in a lot of cases.
But the guys that are
right?
doing that right now that I'm seeing, or that I'm working with, they're buying land that's dirt cheap, because everyone wants a good deal. That's why like, these old Italian guys and the Jewish, those big Jewish families and stuff, they do so well because they look for a good deal. Yeah. They don't just buy any like thing that seems like they could get a little bit of a bump on.
Yeah.
They get the stuff where they don't mind waiting, and then once they get it, it's a big win.
Right.
They buy something that they can make money on right when they buy it.
Yeah.
That's
where they say that you make all the money is on the buy, and then if you're able to make improvement.
Yeah.
Right?
That's where the money is on that stuff. Yeah. But a lot of other guys like income producing properties like plazas, because at least they can they're doing a VTB, can pay for the interest on the VTB.
Right.
Right. So that's another thing that people like as well. Income producing.
See, I find and another thing that I find fascinating about that is you're not going for the low hanging fruit. You're not going for the stuff that's easy, let's say, in comparison to that. Sure, you'll take it.
Yeah.
You love it. You'll do it. I've seen it, right? And you smash it and you do an awesome job with it. However, you're chasing the big piece.
Yeah, exactly.
The big boys. This is where already that work ethic that you have, that obsession, that what's at the top?
Yeah.
What's the toughest? What are the biggest purchases?
Exactly.
Where is it most fruitful?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter about today. It matters about the long run and tomorrow. And you're already seeing that and you're chasing it.
Yeah.
Right. So no matter your immediate success and what happens in the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's irrelevant. You're gonna know that game like the back of your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
In the meantime, you're catching all the low-hanging fruit anyway, because people know you as a rockstar realtor.
Exactly.
And then moving forward, in 5 years from now, you're gonna have that knowledge, expertise, and now network in the bag.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah,
bro. Right.
100%.
Like it's fascinating. It really is. Right. And I know I shout it out, or when I see you in rooms, or when I say it, or put it up on the socials, or when I make introductions, I say it like that. You truly are the youngest in the game that are doing it that big, right?
I appreciate it.
I could see talent from a mile away, so I see it coming, right?
Thank you.
It's going to be very fruitful. You're going to rock out. You're going to do very well.
Thank you.
You're going to have a lot of success. Just keep rocking in the path that you're on now, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good. And what's next? Like, what do you work? Are you gonna grow a team?
Yeah, so I'm actually
mentoring.
I'm actually joining a new brokerage.
Okay.
So I'm leaving KW. I'm going to a new brokerage called City Block.
Okay.
So, for example, one of my other mentors, his name is Vincent. He's the other guy that has a lot of great sites, and he's only 1 arm's length away. So we work on some stuff together. Work on a couple land assemblies for some bigger developers. So this brokerage is literally going to be only like 5 guys. It's 4 Italian guys and 1 Portuguese guy. I'm the pork chop. So basically, we're just trying to get a bunch of land deals done within this group. And then another thing that we're doing, which I would like to take the lead on, is add also a pre-construction arm. Because think about it like this. Let's say if you're Fernbrook, okay, and I get you a nice parcel and you're buying the parcel, on top of me getting commissions, let's say if it's $250,000, fantastic for on a $60 million deal, amazing. But on top of that, I'm going to say, you know what, I want to be either the sales manager for your entire development. And if I can't get that, then I want to be allocated X number of units.
Yeah.
And your premium units, right? So then it goes to, okay, you made money on the land acquisition. Now you're going to make money on selling like X number of pre-construction units. Pre-con's easy as long as you know how to build the funnel.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of what's next for me, is joining this new brokerage, focusing on the land stuff, and then also the pre-con side.
Right.
For example, one of my buddies, he's really big in the tech industry. So he's built up a really great funnel for a lot of other developers like Tridel and stuff like that. So now me and him are going to partner up to build this funnel. He builds out the system to get it done. I'm the guy who executes, gets a little royalty from it. And then my brokerage is going to have tons of premium access from other developers. So it's only fucking 5 guys. So imagine how much money we're going to make.
Beautiful.
Right?
Love it.
Yeah.
Move nice and stealth and quick. You can mobilize quickly. You can adapt.
Exactly.
That's what Robert Kawasaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad says, to just find that small group of killers.
Yeah.
Stay low.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
Yeah. And we don't want to be like that big famous team or anything like that. We want to be the low key guys getting shit done.
I like that. I like that. No. And you know what? When you go against the grain, right? And it's something that you really believe in and you see there's a void to fill with, that's when you usually crush it. Like I know too, like most recently what we're doing and breaking the mold with not taking on an agent model and having it, even me and everyone that works for the company is salaried and we're chasing this $1 billion vision together. We see a lot of upside outside of our salaries and programs that we're building out and equity pools and whatnot. However, when there's agents that are doing 100 mil or 200 mil and they want to hop on board, and we're just like we would love that, but we don't have that model.
Yeah, exactly.
They look at us sideways, but it's like it's working.
Yeah.
Right? So I like, and this isn't about us and about me and about our movement. It's about you today. So I just wanted to use that as a
they go hand in hand, right? Like it's quality. It's quality with a specific model. You know what I mean? And you're growing organically instead of just forcing it with numbers.
Yeah.
And with like just certain people. You know what I mean? Like you're doing it properly. That's the same way we're trying to do it as well. And then even like what you guys are doing in Florida, that's the exact type of direction that, you know, me and my buddies would like to go through as well.
Yeah.
Which is another big part of my growth, is just surrounding myself around like-minded young prodigies as well, but in other sectors, right? For example, one of my buddies has got a really great like bricklaying and construction company. He's doing really well with that.
Yeah.
Another one of my buddies is doing tech startup. I got another guy who's like starting developing at such a young age. So I'm just being around all these people where eventually we can somewhat vertically integrate, which is the same stuff that you guys do as well. That's the same format I'm going with.
Yeah. Good. And I gotta spill out my guts and I gotta show you the board in regards to what we've done this far. And I'm excited. I want to do it right now because I want to see everyone else that's a part of our ecosystem win and vertically integrate. And like I always like to say, the rising tide lifts all ships, right? Like we got this whole globe to go tackle. Let's go
exactly.
get it together. You know
exactly. It's a small world. It's a small world.
Happen.
Yeah.
So that's good. And you ever knock anyone out outside of the ring? And
outside of the ring? yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I did
watch out.
A couple rugby guys one time. Yeah.
Don't take those decks you work so hard on and shop it around the industry. He's coming your way.
I've been fighting in the adult division since I was 15. So at like national competitions and stuff in kickboxing. So
yeah. Are you a registered weapon? Like there's a point where you make
I'm pretty sure, I could probably have some legal issues if I ever took it a certain path.
Nice. Right on, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you for spending time with us.
Appreciate
today.
it.
It was an absolute pleasure. Not only do we have the pleasure of working with you on your mortgage files, and everyone in the office loves you and the attitude and energy you have. Everyone's just like, Mason's awesome.
Thank you.
But, you know, what we look to do in the future on some partnerships and on some conversations, just on some continuing to share the good energy. I really, really cherish this relationship.
100%, likewise.
I think the world of you, bro. So
thank you.
Thank you for rocking out with us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Tell the audience in the industry where they can find you, kiddo.
Instagram, Mason Galvao Realtor. Facebook, just Mason Galvao. LinkedIn, Mason Galvao as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and it was a pleasure sitting with this young rock star. So keep follow him. Just follow him, man. Watch what this kid does. He's gonna make a lot of noise, and in a very tasteful way. He's a class act. Don't forget to subscribe and like. That's how we keep this ball rolling, and we'll see you next time.